Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Also, subscribe to Prophet Google on Patreon. Now let's hurt some feelings and get to this video.
Hi, so as mentioned the other day, I'd just like to summarize really Open Doors watch list for this year. So it's the World Watch List, which is basically the top 50 countries for Christian persecution. And the data is collected and scored, and basically violence plus 5 different spheres, which include family life, national life, public life, etc., are used to score countries. And this is a summary basically of the findings. So it says, for the first time in the World Watch List's history, only countries who have received a score aligned with extreme or very high levels of persecution feature now in the top 50. Previously, some countries who experienced only high levels of persecution were also featured.
Here's one from Aetius Secularis, or Secularis. And he says this: the evidence of Mecca being Petra is compelling. However, there is also a major problem with the claim that the Abbasids pointed the Qibla to Mecca from Petra under the Umayyads. The reason is that Abdul al-Rahman, who is Abdul al-Malik's grandson, moved to Al-Andalus in Spain and also defeated Abbasid attacks in North Africa. The Umayyad dynasty continued until the 11th century. No Abbasid army ever set foot in Al-Andalus. And for those who don't know, Al-Andalus would be Spain. On top of that, Abdul al-Rahman I and his famous successor Abdul al-Rahman III still made pilgrimages to Mecca and had their qiblas pointing there. Why would the Umayyads still point their mosques to Mecca and do pilgrimage there if it was originally Petra? Why would Abdul al-Rahman I continue to promote Mecca as a holy place after the Abbasids murdered his family?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of this fascinating series on Qira'at, as my dear brother Jay Smith called it Qira'at Conundrum, and I hope by now you know why he calls it a conundrum, why we call it controversies. It's very obvious that there is so much to the story of the Qira'at than meets the eye, and unfortunately for our Muslim friends, oftentimes they rely on one source of authority that tells them how they ought to believe, and they are left in the dark. My hope is that we're living in an era right now, in an age where you have access not only just to the internet, not only to social media, but we're telling you even in this particular series about where you can even find books and where you can go to get these answers and to even verify the information that we're sharing with you.
One of the most powerful arguments against Islam comes from one of Muhammad's early scribes. Allah would give a revelation to his messenger Gabriel, then Gabriel would pass the revelation on to Muhammad, then Muhammad would recite the revelation to his followers, and they would try to memorize it. But memorizing it was difficult, so a scribe would write down the revelation. A man named Abdullah ibn Sa'd ibn Abi Sar converted to Islam and became one of Muhammad's scribes. But he eventually left Islam and became an apostate. Why did a man who learned the Quran from Muhammad himself decide to become an ex-Muslim?
It's got nothing to do with gratitude. It's because you have to. Otherwise, Muslims won't do it. The person tells her that they are doing the fasting for God. Notice she says, I want to do something as well for God. Yes, Muslims think that they are doing Allah a favor by fasting, and that's according to Sahih Bukhari 5927.
Yeah, fasting is the essence, part of essence of Allah. Allah is claiming that fasting. And on the day of judgment, of course, fasting is going to speak for you.
I want you to introduce you to my friend, Fade Frega. Ja, danken schön. Ole! Say hi to Frega. Very good. Are we ready now? Okay, the zombie story. What's the zombie story? All right. I may have to do a part 2, we'll see. The zombie story. Matthew 27, 52 to 53. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens when you do coffee. Matthew 27, 52 to 53. Now, I think I don't have anyone that posts Bible verses, so I'm going to probably have to do it myself. Anyone here that can post or no? Let me know. If not, I'll just have to read it because we're going to play a clip. It's going to be rebutting this clip that I tried to rebut 4 sessions ago.
So in the Old Testament and the New Testament, God have one nature. He has a spirit, and yes, he come as a flesh. Muslims, they deny both. Therefore, when they say, oh, we worshiping the same God of Abraham, they are using the name of Abraham to apply a cult they follow to make it Abrahamic, so it can be more acceptable. It's like when a scam, you know, he call you to steal your credit card. So he will tell you what, I'm calling from your bank. Or they send you an email, says somebody, did log to your account, please log here, and then you click the page, it's look like the bank, and then you put your username and password. In fact, you just give them the password,